What's up, everybody? It is Izzy back again with another episode of this damned Q&A. So remember, if you enjoy the Q&A, please hit the like button to help me out in the algorithm so that more people can watch the Q&A. On to the first question. What is your resting heart rate, and does it change much over the course of a cut/bulk? Well, it goes up like 10 beats per minute anytime that I go on super physiological doses of PEDs. Beyond even sports TRT, that is. So yes, it does change quite a bit, but the fact is that weight loss and weight gain tends to offset it. Peak cut, it can be in the high 40s. Peak bulk, it can be high 60s. With regards to a muscle having good leverage, I assume this is relative to other muscles and not in absolute terms. So the principle of neuromechanical matching basically states that the body's trying to be efficient. So whatever muscle has the best leverage in a given movement at a particular joint angle, that muscle is going to be recruited maximally to try and accomplish the task. However, of course, there are many situations where multiple muscles are going to be recruited, for example. The rear delts and the teres may get recruited maximally first in a sagittal single arm pull down, but the lats are eventually going to be recruited to help as well because they do have some leverage, and all muscles that are able to contribute to a given task are going to contribute. It's just that the one with the best leverage will be recruited maximally. Now, that said, again, this does change throughout different joint angles and in the range of motion. In any compound movement, there's going to often be handoffs from one muscle group to another in terms of what's recruited maximally at different points in the range of motion because what has the best leverage changes. So when you bring it all together, this is why different muscles can be trained maximally depending on the strength curve of the exact same movement. So a very classic example would be something just like the bench press. If you add some sort of accommodating resistance like a band or chains, or you have a prime or strive machine that allows you to change where you're maximally loading the movement, the higher up in the movement that you go, the more it's going to be shoulders and triceps. And for example, this is why squats are not necessarily a glute exercise. Even though squats provide a great stretch on the glutes and dips, for example, provide a great stretch on the front delts, the strength curve of each movement dictates that as you become more and more advanced, those muscle groups might not get close enough to failure to reach any sort of a really adequate or significant stimulus. In simpler terms, most squats are going to be quad or adductor limited, and by the time that your quads and adductors have failed, your glutes can still be really far away from failure if you're an advanced trainee. And the same thing goes for dips. Even though the front delts are stretched quite well, the strength curve of the movement is such that your pecs and your triceps tend to be the failure point instead of the front delts, so your front delts may not get the best stimulus. I think when you consider your real world experiences and you just kind of look around at the results that other people get, this model makes a lot more sense than simply saying every single muscle that you fully stretch is getting an amazing stimulus in a given movement. Over and over again, yes, we do see people get fantastic results for their glutes from different kinds of split squats that have a glute bias. And that makes sense because you're stretching the glute, but also doing a movement where the glutes are the muscle group with the best leverage to contribute to the task, or at least they're guaranteed to be close to failure versus a regular squat where that may not be the case. And again, this is why I prefer to use this model because to me, it just matches up better with real world results. Am I weird for stepping into a mindset of indifference for famous lifters? Like, why should I care about John Hack's lifts if he doesn't even know I exist? I don't think that's that weird at all, particularly if you're not like an active competitive powerlifter. I think if you're an active competitive powerlifter, it's a little bit weird because you're like talking about somebody who's towards the top of your field and you could probably learn a lot from him. But for the most part, I agree with this. Like, who cares what celebrities are doing? What is the fastest way to get a big chest? Have a proper nutrition plan and get adequate, if not optimal, sleep while following a good program that emphasizes progressive overload for at least 10 years. No, but Izzy, what if I don't train my legs and all I focus on is benching? This is a question this person has asked before. Then it's going to take you at least 12 to 13 years. Huh? That's because you're going to need an additional 2 to 3 years to realize that there are no fucking shortcuts, dude. No fucking shortcuts. The more you spend time looking for shortcuts, the longer this whole thing is going to take you, because you just need to accept that it's a grind, get on something that makes sense, and be patient. Be patient. Realistically, am I missing out on anything if I don't have any tricep compounds in my program? Like 100% beyond any shadow of a doubt, yes. I mean, imagine asking this question for any other muscle group. Am I realistically missing out on any chest gains if I only do flies? Am I realistically missing out on any quad gains if I only do leg extensions? Yeah, man, you are. You're going to miss out. I mean, the bottom line is that different movements cause different differences in regional hypertrophy. I don't see you getting your max tricep size without some tricep compounds. Are landmine squats a good exercise for hypertrophy? No. Nobody strong would ever be able to put enough weight on a landmine squat to cause good hypertrophy. No. Alrighty, folks, that is the end of episode 113. So let's do these abs rapid fire. If you like the Q&A, please remember to hit the like button when it comes out on YouTube. It helps with the algorithm. If you'd like to become a more substantial supporter of the Q&A, you can do so on Patreon for $1 a month. To work with me directly for coaching or to check out any of my ebooks, visit my bio on Instagram or DM me on Instagram or look in the description box on YouTube. So really quick, probably what I will do to adjust my lower body training is, like I said, an ABC format. Well, I'll probably do safety bar squat and good morning, followed by leg extension and leg curl. So 0 axial loading for my lower body stuff. And then I'll try to do RDL, and I'll probably pair RDL with a single leg movement, either Bulgarian split squats or maybe like some sort of a single leg press. So I think that could potentially help out with some of the stability issues that I have with squats. So we'll see how that goes. If I need to make further adjustments, I will. But until the next session, have a good one, folks.
So with the cuff lateral,